Hello guys, and welcome back to a Tekken video. Today we're going to talk about the jab. You may be underutilizing the jab, and I'll explain its uses. Knee is a great example of how to utilize a jab on some characters like Brian, but it also has universal uses since it's a universal move. But all jabs aren't created equal, so remember that. So let's get started. So the jab is the fastest thing a character can do from standing, being I-10. Three things the jab does is it's +1 on block, it recovers very fast on whiff, and lastly it forces an interaction with essentially zero risk. Building off those points, +1 is very good because obviously you're plus. 2, it recovers very fast, so if people try to punish you or rage art you, you'll probably recover in time and be able to punish or get a mental advantage because the punish window is very small, but it is not impossible, but it is not an easy task. And lastly, it forces an interaction onto your opponent, which means they have to respond to the jab. They get given the question, are they going to frame trap their own jab? Should I try to crouch jab the jab to try to high crush it? What if they backdash or sidestep and then launch me for whiffing a dick jab? Even though the chances of that happening is quite low, it could still happen. It could build doubt, and it give you a mental frame advantage and also a timing advantage. For example, jab into jab, with you jab and then they try to hop it because you try to go low in the past, so they try to low crush you, but then the jab floats them. Obviously Yoshi's flash will high crush, so beware of Yoshi, but every other high crush and hop kick usually gets floated by a jab, besides Samsara, but that's a unique interaction. And obviously float combo, take them to wall, get the pressure going off just a jab, which is a small interaction but a very important interaction that can turn a small situation into a launch. Jabs could start real pressure, but it could also give you mental frames if they respect it. It's also very good to keep out your opponents because he's very fast, and also keep out an opponent in the sense that if they try to dash in and do something, you could just keep them out with a jab. And I already said that it's very hard to whiff punish, so that's why it's very good. You could also jab to control space. You could use it to counter hit, or you could use it for pressure, as I went over it before. You could use them for other reasons that are more advanced, but essentially it could break down into these three things. Remember, jab is a universal tool, so every character has a +1 frame advantage and +8, I believe, on hit. But all jab ranges are not created equally, meaning the ranges vary. For example, Horeng's jab is very weak, meaning even the slightest of pushback could make your jabs whiff, or the other jabs would not whiff. For example, Jin has a very good jab. I think Devil Jin has a good jab, but I'm not sure. Some people say it's bad, some people say it's good. I think it's a good jab, it does its job. But Horeng is a prime example of a very bad jab, and that's why you probably won't see Horeng's jab. But if they know the range, then it could be good as well. Building on the forcing of interactions have possible outcomes, and players sometimes usually default to certain options. So if you can learn what options they do and capitalize on it, you could very easily win off small things they might have thought was safe or little risk. But more advanced players will change up these options if they recognize that you catch on, or just to mix your timing. For example, a tendency that you could catch on to is maybe a flash duck into a stand block, or a stand block into a flash duck into a low parry or whatnot, or maybe a backdash into a sidestep in this direction. It's just information, and just to see if they're doing it randomly or just looking out for a move, for example. And also consider the wall position, because this could be helpful for your tendencies to catch on. And before watching the knee video, to basically summarize, a jab is also very good when you're overly plus, if you do not want to do something like a counter hit launcher or a low poke risking a hop kick, because obviously you're +1 and they can't interrupt, but you could get high crushed by a dig jab, so just beware of that. But the dig jab interaction is what I spoke about in the +1 on block section. But a jab is also very good to overwhelm your opponent, especially when they're low, because unless they risk a hop kick or armor or rage art or something to interrupt the jabs, if they try to press a slower button, they will just get counter hit and probably die. I sometimes get overwhelmed by jabs and try to mash slower options trying to counter hit them on a timing read, but they just keep on frame trapping with fast moves like down forward 1 and jabs. So always make sure to use jab and your down forward 1 for pressure. But not always, but it's just a good suggestion. Now let's go into the knee interactions.
Players just moving around each other's jabs here.
Here we go. Player trying to lock in. Ulsan with the life lead right now. Great block.
Oh my god, somebody! Oh my god, bro!
Yo, I was gonna say his defense is crazy, but then here comes knee. Rage art in tow.
That was so sick. He had
Knee lands a keep out jab and tries to do a low, but Ulsan blocks it. Even though Knee got hit, he attempts a side step right, evades it, and then jet uppers him, winning the round. Jabs are a good way to throw your opponent off their flow. In this clip, he tries to get a 1-2-4 on counter hit, but he doesn't get the counter hit. Does back 4, floats him, lands head shit, does a heat string, gets a counter hit jab, and lands a key low to win the round. And here, he does a lot of jabs on block into sidestep left, trying to catch him whiffing, where he's trying to get a jab, and even if he sidesteps or does a jab, he's trying to whiff punish him. Which here, he does a jab into a sidestep left, and then tries to jet upper, but he's too slow, but you could see the idea. If he was a bit faster, just a little tiny bit, he would have got a launch off a jab whiffing. And last clip, but here, he lands a critical, well, he doesn't get launched after whiffing this jab first, but second, he lands a key keep out counter hit throw, which shifts the other guy to not know to whether attack or defend, and then catches him crouching and then launches him, and I'm pretty sure he wins the round. But if you guys learned anything in this video, like and subscribe, comment down, it will really mean a lot, and I'll see you guys next time. Also, if you made it this far, sorry for the stuttering. I was gonna re-record, but I wanted to get this video out, and I'm lazy, and I probably was gonna make it if I didn't make it today.